Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Sarah and I am in my jammies. The reason I'm in my jammies tonight is I volunteer with the high school students at our church, and tonight we had PJs and pancakes. So that meant we all dressed up in our Christmas jammies and we served them pancakes and bacon. So while I was all comfy and cozy in my jammies when I got home, I thought I would go ahead and shoot this video and get it up for you as my finale for my November Project 10 pan. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the products. So the first item that I called it quits on earlier in the month was the Covergirl Clump Crusher Water Resistant Mascara. I had mentioned that I purchased this for our wedding and I didn't care for the formula of it. It was very dry and it did tend to flake throughout the day. So I used it for about a month and a half and then I just called it quits. Next, I finished two products on the same day. The first one was the Sephora Tint Infusion. This was the very watery foundation and it comes with a dropper. It was extremely watery. I had to use it with a beauty blender, and I had had this foundation for quite some time. I probably had it for about a year and a half, but I didn't use it because it was so fussy. I didn't have the time, generally in the mornings I'm usually running late or I'm in a hurry to get out the door, so I just didn't have the time to fool with this. So it did take me longer than usual to finish this. I did put it in this project hoping that it would inspire me to just go ahead and get the last few uses out of it, and I finished it up right around the middle of the month. On the same day, I went ahead and finished the Urban Decay Quick Fix. They call this their priming spray. I use it just like any other setting spray. I really enjoy the Urban Decay All Nighter and I liked this one as well. However, I have moved on to another setting spray that I received in a BoxyCharm a few months ago. So happy to have another one out of my collection. I have many backups of this one. Okay, next I finished off the e.l.f. This is the clear brow gel and the clear mascara, so it's obviously a dual-ended product. I was using the clear brow gel in my brows and I was part of the way finished with this when I started the project at the beginning of the month. Went ahead and finished off that side and moved on to the clear mascara. I did end up using this in my brows as well. For me, I found that they both had pretty much the same consistency, and that consistency was pretty thin. It did tend to kind of get a little bit sticky, and I would notice toward the end of the day, it would start to flake a little bit, which I didn't really care for. I do have really dark brows. Obviously, you can see that they're nearly black. And so when a clear gel starts to kind of flake off and it ends up either in my brows or up here on my forehead, that's pretty noticeable. So I probably am not going to run out to repurchase this anytime soon. I do have a deluxe sample of the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. And as soon as I dig through my things and figure out what I did with that, I will probably start in on that one in the next few days. Okay, this one, I am so happy to report that this Bite Beauty Matte Creme Lip Crayon is finally finished. I have mentioned multiple times that when we went on our honeymoon, I got really sick and I ended up, my lips got very chapped. I was very dehydrated. And so I was using all sorts of balms and, things like that. And I was having a hard time wearing lipstick because it would just dry my lips out and my lips would get really cracked. And so I couldn't wear lipstick for the better part of a month. Well, finally, after the midway point of this project, I went ahead and broke out this lipstick and I decided just to go for it. It did take me several days of, some use, but I finally finished off this one. I really did enjoy this formula, but it is Bite Beauty and they don't use preservatives, so you do have to work through them fairly quickly. I received 3 of these matte creme lip crayons in an influencer box right about this time last year. This one is in Cava and I've also finished off the one in Glacé. There is another one that I have that's in Red Velvet, and I have that one slated right now for my 2018 project use up. So I'm hoping that I can get some good use out of that, you know, kind of over the holiday season, and then just moving into 2018, I'll be able to go ahead and finish that one off as well. Okay. Next, I have the ColoupPop Super Shock Shadow, and this is in the shade Brady. This is a good neutral crease color is what I used it for mostly. Sometimes I would just do, if it was a low maintenance makeup day, then I would just do an all over lid color, and then, you know, maybe just some mascara, sometimes an eyeliner. I really did enjoy this color, but as most of us who love ColoupPop know, with these super shock shadows, they do tend to dry out pretty quickly. So this is the first one that I've had that has dried out. I do have some of the metallic ones which seem to have a little bit more life to them. So initially I had mentioned that I might try to kind of scoop that all out and pile it up in the center so I could use it some more, but I tried to do that and it was so dry at that point that it just started flaking. So I used it as much as I could. I'm happy with the progress that I made, and I'm also happy to have another one used up. So as I said, I do have many more ColoupPop shadows that I'm working through, or I will be working through, but just happy to check another one off my list and get some good use out of it. Okay, this one is the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Powder, and this is in the shade Medium. This is a pretty good color match for me. This was just their sample, like travel size, I guess is what they call it. And this is just a setting powder. I used it every day. You can see I started it over the summer and I just tried to make some pretty consistent use. And then this is where I started for the month. I marked it on October the 30th and I just continued to use it throughout the remainder of the month. Finished this one up about 4 or 5 days ago. So I have since moved on to a deluxe size sample of a powder that I'm using, and I'm enjoying that as well, but I did really like that Cover FX powder. Okay, here we go. I am so excited to have used these up. These are the simple micellar wipes. I have mentioned multiple times that I don't typically care for wipes. I did purchase them for our honeymoon in a 2-pack. So I put this one in this project to go ahead and finish it up quickly before they dried out, and I have done that. You can see that is empty there. I have the other pack in a 6-month project pan. Excuse me. I have not opened them yet, but the pan did just start. So I've got about another 5.5 months to go ahead and work through another 25, another pack of 25. So I'm confident that I'll be able to work through that as well. So those were my successes with my 10 pan. And now I have 2 really frustrating failure / disappointments. The first one is the Pacifica Lips Like Sugar. This is the Candied Lemon Lip Scrub, and I have mentioned this so many times. You can kind of see it's slanted, but you can pretty much see I've got about 1/2 inch left on this. And I have mentioned multiple times that this is really difficult for me to use. The balm itself is very soft, so when you press it to your lips, it just kind of spreads out and it doesn't give you some good traction to get a good scrub. So it's hard for me to want to pick this up to use it. I powered through for most of the month, but about a week ago, I guess I just kind of gave up. I just stopped using it and my lips were pretty much repaired at that point, and I could use, you know, some other kind of moisturizing products, and I could use lipstick every now and then. So I just kind of gave up on using this, and I know that had I powered through, I could have finished this because I've probably got about another week to 10 days worth on it. And had I just used it consistently for those the last week and a half, I'm certain that this would have been finished as well. But that's okay. I'll just keep using it and I'll just be done with it here shortly. My last one is the Bath & Body Works Twisted Peppermint Body Lotion. And this one, I knew going into this month that this was going to be a big stretch for me to try to finish this. I started out the month here and that was about 2/3 of the way full. And then by the halfway point, I was down to here, which I thought was pretty good. It was just under halfway done. And then as of this morning, I am just down to here, which is about 3/4 of an inch remaining. I was kind of disappointed that I wasn't able to finish this one, but I also knew that this would be really ambitious for me to try to finish in a month. I have started using it all over my body. The air is starting to get a little drier, so I do use lotion multiple times throughout the day now, whereas typically I would just use it in the morning after my shower. So I do feel pretty confident that in the next few weeks I can go ahead and get that last remaining bit finished. So the Twisted Peppermint and also the Pacifica Lip Scrub are both in my Project Use It Up for 2017, so I have every confidence that I will be able to just power through these the next few weeks and go ahead and get them finished off in December. Speaking of December, I was thinking of putting some products together for a Project 10 pan for December, but what I think I've decided to do instead is to do a Deluxe December. So what I mean by that is I think I'm going to just pull in a bunch of the deluxe size samples that I've been either working on throughout the year or that I've gotten in the last couple of months of Ipsy and Play by Sephora and, you know, those kind of things, and just pull them all in and do a Deluxe December and just try to power through as many of my deluxe samples as I can from now through the remainder of the year. I'm thinking that I will pick back up with the Project 10 pan in January, but for December, I think I really want to do this deluxe size sample project instead. So if you'd like to, I would love to have you join me. Go ahead and comment down below and let you know if you'll be doing a Deluxe December or what projects you have planned for the month. And if you're new here, I hope that you'll stick around and subscribe so you can see more content coming from me. And if you're not new here, thanks so much for coming back. I sure do appreciate it. I hope that you will like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.